Greetings, everyone. I'm Eric Paulson with Your Essential Practice. For today's divinely guided rune reading, we're getting into your astrological sign. So if this message doesn't resonate with your sun sign, please check out either, your sun sign, right? Then your moon, your rising, or your Venus signs as well. See what resonates with you. These rune readings are going to be a little bit different. There are going to be 6 runes in the rune reading, and we'll go over that when it comes to the time for the reading. I'd like to now cleanse this energetic space with a singing bowl. As usual, I have the $2 note in the singing bowl that represents uncommon abundance in our lives. As I ring the singing bowl, we're simultaneously giving gratitude towards and inviting more of that uncommon abundance back into our lives. So let's take this moment, and I invite you to take 3 deep breaths in through your nose and then out through your mouth. Don't force it, and try to make your exhales a little bit longer than your inhales, focusing on the intent of today's divinely guided rune reading for each zodiac sign. These messages will be uploaded once a week, continuing on. You can consider this your divinely guided rune reading for the season of Ostara. Ostara is the pagan holiday celebrating the Spring Equinox. So let's focus on that intent. Beautiful stuff, everyone. So, Ostara, the Spring Equinox, this is right after that very weird kind of eclipse, lunar eclipse energy in Virgo, prompting us to go with the flow and to release what's no longer serving our highest path. A profound realization that I found personally recently was leaning into my allergy suffering. I've been taking these over-the-counter medicines for like 6 years, and it's not been healthy for me. So recently, right around the eclipse, a little bit before that, even, I was having a really hard time with the sinuses and these allergy type symptoms, right? And I was thinking, okay, what's wrong? I'm trying ginger, I'm trying this, and I'm trying that, and nothing seems to have been working. It wasn't until I was brought to this inner realization about leaning into the spiritual meaning of what the allergy suffering is for me. And that is resistance to the flow of the energies that are present in our lives right now. So for me, I was resistant for a lot of reasons. I've been pretty much the epitome of resistance, right? My family was all Packer fans, for instance, and I was a Bears fan just in spite growing up, all right? So that's a little bit of an example. This cathartic release, this turning over, this unearthing, and things being brought in front of us to release, we can celebrate during this Ostara season with these beautiful spring rebirth, rejuvenation, and fertile energies. All right. So I want to take a moment here and thank all of you wonderful subscribers and viewers out there. Over 30,000 views on this channel so far, and about 500 subscribers. So let's keep on sharing that beautiful healing work out there, everybody. Again, if this message doesn't resonate for you, share it to somebody who might, and let that message get out there to them. Every interaction, comment, like, even a dislike, would actually help the channel to get to the people that need this medicine more. All right, so I thank you, and let's, without further ado, get into your divinely guided rune reading. Greetings, Leo. Welcome to your rune reading for the week of Ostara, the beautiful Spring Equinox energies. I myself am a Leo rising. If you don't know your placement in your astrological chart, whether it's rising, moon, Venus, whatever, you can definitely look up. There's a bunch of free sites. All right, just search up your free astrology or something like that on Google or Yahoo, whatever you use, and things will pop up for you for free if you want to figure that out. So let's go over the positions of the runes for your rune reading today. So The number one position is going to be past situations. Number two position is the present situation. The third rune is future situations. The fourth rune is influence on the question or the topic at hand. And number five is the current advice. And number six is the most likely outcome. Now let's jump right on in, Leo. How are we all feeling out there? You're coming from this beautiful rune of Othala in the past energies here. So Othala is that rune of legacy, that foundation. Where are we going to repair that foundation? Are we building a foundation? Are we thinking about our legacy, what we get to leave behind? A lot of people think of this as land or a piece of property or a deed or maybe an inheritance of some sort. However, that's more transitory. I like to think more of the perpetual, like this is maybe a spiritual practice paradigm, a thought process that you get to leave the world behind with a beautiful movement like Pay It Forward, for instance. So this is really just calling in aspects of that you've been either thinking about or expanding your legacy. This eclipse energy could have really made you go a little bit more introspective on, okay, what am I really doing with my life, kind of stuff, right? So in the second room position in the present situation, we have Ingwas. This is the rune of the divine masculine as well. A lot of times you'll just see it as just this, the seed, the diamond there. Ingwas is the divine masculine's rune because it's that successfully planting the seed. This is the fertility rune. This is about coming from that place of knowing, healing the divine masculine, right? Coming from that sense of knowing is like that healing the ego aspect, right? Because ego likes to make us guess. Ego likes to make us react. So when we're churning that reaction into a response, when we're coming from that place of inner knowing, being humble with that, right, the balanced ego, we're not necessarily having an ego death, but maybe looking at aspects of what divine masculine healing is for us. And trust me, Leo, you're not the only ones to get this rune in your rune reading today. A lot of us are really needing to heal a lot of that toxic masculinity that's out there. And what we're really doing as an example for our future generations, like our indigenous brothers and sisters out there, like to think ahead 7 generations. I mean, have you even gone in and looked at your next 2 or 3 generations, right? They would have this for very good reasons too, stern practices of thinking ahead of the impact any decision would have in the community up to 7 generations. All right, so this is a lot of that transmuting, I think, for you, Leo, and moving forward into the very near future of the situation or of this reading here, of this coming week here during this equinox. This is the rune Algis. This is the rune of faith, I like to call it. So this is those antlers of the elk that are reaching up, that are divinely connected, and that's their divine defense too. So you're more in your knowing of your divine defense. You're more of your own understanding and just knowing, having that firm faith of where to go moving forward in a very kind of a sense of a healed divine masculine sort of way. Not to really say that that flame is dying down at all, Leo, but you are focusing a lot of that fire energy right now moving forward. So let's look at the influence on it. Yeah. The influence on this week is calling you to take that leap. This is the rune Perthos, the Gambler's Cup. I like to also call it the Kenny Rogers rune. So it's the gambler. So you know when to hold them, when to fold them, when to walk away, when to run. It's like a game. It's like an initiation process or a board game or pregnancy or a birth or a creation, a start of something new, a leap of faith, right? Where you're entering in to something knowing about the general direction that you're going, right? But you come out with a little bit of a changed aspect. You've taken a lot of twists and turns, a lot of transmutation, a lot of initiation in this process. So this is like divine saying, like, go ahead, I got you. Take that leap, because now you have that faith, that healed sense of ego, right? And that legacy that you want to continue to move forward in taking that leap. And Leo, you're really great at that. You are being called to shine here. All right. So we have Odin's room in the current advice. So this is something you already know. So something you already know or something that's purposefully hidden from you. I will get a rune of clarity on that at the end of this reading to see what further we can pull from this here, okay? But this is really saying that this is, again, you're really coming at this in a very you feel more centered, more grounded, more connected than you have been. And you're really starting to throw your whole self into this. And only you know what this is. Like you're playing this one kind of close to your chest. I think you're not really, out there and like bragging about it in a sort of way. You're like, in a sense, being more stoic about what's going on in your life, which is a very healthy thing for you to do, Leo. All right. So your outcome, wow, we have the divine masculine and the divine feminine represented here in your rune reading, Leo. This is a first for me today. So Lagos is in your most likely outcome aspect here. This is the rune Lagos. This is, like I said, the divine feminine. This is like that divine connection. And the sea, the lake, the flow, water, scrying with water, healing intuition, healing in emotion, surrendering to flow, which has been a huge aspect of that lunar eclipse. And we're moving very quickly into this solar eclipse energy. So this has really been a lot of unmasking of both aspects and really leading into a lot of embodiment and of healing of both aspects of your divine feminine, your divine masculine. You're really stepping into your authority here, Leo. Now let's get a rune of clarity for this Odin's rune. And for this, I'm using the lapis lazuli runes. Again, these are all available on the shop at youressentialpractice.com. So this again is the rune Pertho. Yeah, it's just reiterating that, like taking that leap of faith. You know what this is. You know what your initiation is. You are definitely holding it a little closer to your chest. You're really doing a lot of inner work and healing and balancing out these aspects. And you're leaving behind this really beautiful legacy and really embodying your faith moving forward. So I really, really love this for you, Leo. Let's get another card of clarity from the Soul's Journey Oracle deck. These are messages straight from Source, straight from Spirit, directly to your spirit, directly to your soul. So, Divine, please show us clearly what message of clarity do you have for us today for Leo. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Freedom. Yeah. This is totally you. I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. You totally do. Smiling all the way. Embodying your Leo energy. And really balancing out those aspects of ego that these both can have. Right? Ego doesn't just come from the masculine. It can also come from the feminine. So you're really you're really being humble in this approach, really balanced, but really shining throughout this in exemplifying your your independence, your freedom. Let's read more about this. Again, it says, I possess the power and the free will to create my own happiness. Your soul is open to receiving new wisdom and insights that will allow it to make the right choices for its own growth. Remember, you are never a victim of other people or their circumstances. You have complete control over your own choices. By following your heart and being authentic to yourself, you present the real you to the world. Making decisions based on other people's expectations is not the true path to happiness. You are responsible for creating your own reality, and I believe you are doing this, Leo. When a soul shifts to a place of honoring itself in its totality, free from judgment, only then will it find its true freedom. Every soul is unique and follows its own path. Don't give in to peer pressure or urge to fit in. You are the only one who truly knows the real you, right? So feel free to march to the beat of your own drummer. This is a beautiful message for you, Leo. I hope it resonates. Namaste. Have a blessed and abundant day.